In today's political climate, it's unfortunate, but we've all seen it. People will side with their party or their team, no matter how terrible it is of what they've done. They will always stand by what they say that they follow politically. Why is that? So obviously, there's a bias here, but Reb Chaim Shmulevitz gives us an insight into what's going on psychologically when somebody does this. We know the Torah says that a judge is not allowed to listen to one litigant unless the other is present, because listening to one side of the story creates a perspective and an opinion in the judge's mind, and now the judge is already prejudiced and somehow leaning towards one way that it will be more difficult for him to hear the other side of the story, even though he's a judge and he's supposed to be objective, but this is how his mind will absorb the information. Could you imagine somebody who already chooses a side? They choose an opinion about something. Do you realize how difficult it is for somebody to now change their mind and look at things from a different perspective? Admitting you're wrong is something that's extremely difficult to do. This explains what goes on in our parsha. We have the Sota, who is accused of straying from her husband, and we go through all the different tactics that we use to tire her out, to get her to admit what she did, to try to convey to her the dangers of what she's doing if she doesn't admit and ends up drinking these bitter waters. She knows what happens if she drinks that bitter water. She knows that our punishment is going to come. Why wouldn't she just admit before she gets into real problems? It's the same root cause, says Reb Chaim. Once she denied being guilty, it's very, very difficult for a person to go ahead then and admit that what they did earlier was incorrect. You're always subjective to your own biases and your prejudice to what you've already been thinking. Reach out to a rabbi, reach out to a mentor or somebody that can guide you, because only through them can you get true clarity. But also realize that somebody that breaks through this and is able to stand up and admit that they failed, admit that they made a mistake, and say, I was wrong, this is a tremendous level for somebody to reach, because it turns out that saying I was wrong may be the most right thing you can do. Have a great Shabbos.